Groveton, Texas. And what's on ours is a budget workshop. Number 2 is to discuss the FY 2026 draft budget revisions. We are on.
I guess we can go ahead and talk about this email that Bonnie sent out yesterday.
I'd like to say this before we start anything. All these men up here is, we've tried not to increase our taxes this year. It's been real difficult, and even our department heads, a lot of them has sliced their budgets as much as they can so the people wouldn't have an extra tax bill of that. But I'd like to tell you that all of them has put in stuff, and we really appreciate them stepping up to the plate on that. And like I said, we're still having difficulty because of the tax rate. We could have took another 1 or 2.5%, but we feel like y'all have paid enough and been in all the stuff is out here around our nation, you know, all our nations and the people. Utilities has went up, insurance went up, hospitals went up, everything has went up, and we've tried to hold this year with that. So I really want to tell y'all thank you for trying to step up to the plate and save the people money. It's real easy to spend it, but it's not. It's awful hard to try to save it.
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Bonnie, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
You said here you adjusted the full-time salaries based on the payroll records. So exactly what do you mean there?
What they're actually getting paid, their hourly rate and their annual salary with actual people.
Nothing was added? No?
No, that was on the payroll at that time, yeah. Yes.
Can you go through this email with us that you sent, the different versions and the different?
Yes. I just wanted, I know there was some confusion as to why there was a change at the last requested by the sheriff, but I want to explain the first few versions that we had submitted to the court, or that were submitted to the court. And of course, originally we had 11 jailers, 1 administrator, and there were 2 current, 2 part-time people in dispatch. The court said remove 4 full-time jailers. So came back to the court with the one where we had, and it was mostly estimated because I hadn't verified the salaries of those that were remaining or that might remain. So we got it down to 6 full-time jailer dispatchers, 1 administrator, and they originally had 3 to 5 part-time people. So I put that in the first version. So that's what you have on version 1, which is a 1.5% increase on the part-time line item. You'd ask about that one. The full-time, I based on what was being paid out, you know, everybody that was in there. That was still an estimate, it wasn't actually that. So then the next version we get, we take the full-time jailers, and now we've got 7 full-time dispatcher jailers, 1 administrator, and 5 part-time. But we really only had 2. If you'll see my note, the court said reduce by 4 full-time positions And part-time had been reduced to whoever we had currently working there, and that was 2 part-time jailer dispatchers. So it dropped that budget to 49,000. That's the one that you kept looking at of each meeting. Okay, that was the last one. Then, when I sent the memo out to all the departments, or when the judge did, and asking the offices to relook at their budgets, make cuts where you could, make any changes as necessary. I received an email that the sheriff wanted to go back to 5 part-time, not 2, dispatcher jailers, full-time at 6, and 1 administrator.
So that's still 11.
No, there were 11 with 10, there were 10 full-time and 1 administrator. We took 4 away, that leaves your 6 out of the 10. Your administrator just is up here, it doesn't change. But we had 2 part-time. Now he wants to make sure that we put in the budget 5 part-time. So we had 11, 1, and anywhere from 3 to 5, original. Is that right? Okay. Then we changed, took the 4 out, and gave you 6, 1, and 2 part-time. And he's saying it needs to be 6 full-time, your administrator, and 5 part-time. So he's increased the part-time back to where it originally was, 3 to 5 part-time jailer
And
dispatchers.
have reduced full-time by 4.
And reduce
We
full-time.
reduced full-time by 4 full-time positions, but that 5 part-time positions is back to where it was in the original budget.
And how did his budget go up 40-something? What was it, 42,000?
Well, it went up from the last version you had. Your last version you had 49,000 for your part-time line item based on 2 people. Now it's based on 5, and it's 86,000. And all he asks is that last year's budget, 86,478, be put into that line item for up to 5 part-time jailers, dispatchers. He's actually 7% less than he was last year in his overall budget. All right, from his original budget that he's working on right now, and with these current changes, it's a negative 7.69%. But the versions you were looking at for 3 or 4 meetings, you still only had 2 part-time in there. So from the time that we changed it to this last meeting, it went up from version 4 to version 6 at 42,000 and up. It's strictly on the part-time. That's where the change is. Nothing else changed.
Looking on your versions here, on these pages you printed here, the last 2,
Right.
it's looking at, I'm just looking at, it says insurance employee 6 full-time. So that's 5 full-time and administrator?
Well,
Oh, it's 6
6
and
6
1.
full-time.
I know, that's what, but
Before it was 11.
Yeah, currently we have 10.
yeah, I know.
There's 10 of
I
them.
understand, I know we reduced before, but, I'm looking for the administrator
It was 10
for
and
insurance.
It was 10 and 1.
See, it's
That's
confusing.
It was 10 and 1, Mike. It was 10 and 1. And 4
No,
was
I
getting out.
understand.
he's looking at the line item.
But this right
Insurance
here
multiplied there.
is off.
Yeah, so that should be 6 and 1 is 7 for insurance.
Yes, see
For
right
the
here,
insurance.
it's saying, insurance just on
7
6
full-time on
full-time.
the insurance.
So it
So
was
you need
leaving
to
one
add-
off. See what I'm saying? So that would have been 5 full-time and administrator.
So what they gonna change to, Bonnie?
Well, insurance 14,000.
No, I mean, the number, you're talking about 6?
Well, the
Dispatch
amount that's
drivers.
right there on, are you talking about insurance?
Yes.
Then add the one more person, insurance is 14,382.51, something like that.
So we would have 7 dispatch jailers?
No, you've got one administrator in that 7.
6 and 1.
How many employees are in the department?
I don't know, it changes all the time, so.
8, 9, there's 9. 6, 7, 8, 9.
What was it like before the variance? Is it similar to that now on this budget?
No, because we didn't have those extra 4 jailers.
No, before that. He's saying before we even got the variance.
We're at it. It was 6 full-time plus a administrator, so there were 7. Basically, this is reducing it back to where it was.
How much was a part-time back then, do you know?
It was very similar in the part-time line.
But where is projected now?
Yeah, where this is projecting now. This is basically reducing it back to where.
Where it originally was.
Where the extras is, a lot is in our insurance and stuff on those employees.
You'd have to go back.
If it's going up 42,000, where did it go up at? That's what he's asking.
Part-time. From 49,000 of the version that you looked at 2 weeks ago to the version that you're looking at now, it went up from 49 to 86. That's the difference of the 42,000.
So the version 2 weeks ago was minus the 4.
It only had 2 part-time people in it, and it was minus the 4 full-time.
Yeah.
It was still 6 and 1, 6 and 1, 6 and 1, but this down here was changing from 2 to 2 to 2. Now it's back to 5 part-time,
Part-timers, yeah.
which was his original budget was 3 to 5 part-time people and 6 full-time and 1 administrator. That was the original budget. Before they added the 4.
Before the variance, 4
Variance.
additional, right? With the variance, right, we're talking 11. Now we're full-time. Now we're reducing that by 4, 7.
The 7.
Full-time. But we're keeping that part-time line where it was, which is about 5 part-time. Overall, as Bobby's saying, their budget is being reduced by 7.69%.
Well, it was before that insurance.
Right. You
Add
add
to
that
Yeah, we'll have to add that 14,000 in.
1,000 back into
Okay.
it.
Because it calculated at 6 full-time and it should
So-
be 7 full-time.
So I just pulled up from 23, when we approved it for
24.
fiscal year 24. I'm looking at September, the last meeting is in September, and this is gonna be for fiscal year 2024. It says, a jail administrator, and then 6 dispatcher jailer salaries, so that's full-time, and then it says part-time dispatch jailers, 3 to 5, $85,200. So,
Exactly. That's what you got now.
so that's where we're at now.
Yes.
So with everything in here, it shows that, was there a difference in what you brought up, Mike? There's one
Yeah,
insurance?
Yeah, then you're going to add 14,000 something else to that, so that 7% is going to be
And
less than that.
14
About 6.75% decrease in the budget is what it
What it will
amounts
amount
to.
to.
When you add that other insurance.
So our available you know, contingency reserve would go down from 291 minus 14, correct?
I have another question too, maybe you can, well, on our sheriff's department too, says that we have 11 deputies, 2 sergeants, 1 chief deputy, and Captain Hopper, which is part-time. Is that counting the 2 that Groveton is paying for?
Yes, everything in this budget does include those 2.
It does include the ones that.
It does include those 2.
Okay, that was a question.
Yes.
So really, the deputies is 13, correct?
I have 13, it was in the original, that's in the budget.
Got two
Two
sergeants, 1 chief deputy, and the sheriff, correct?
And the part-time captain.
1 part-time.
So has anybody talked to the city? Are they gonna keep the contract, or what's gonna happen?
Contract's up in April, I believe. Of 26. That 2-year contract's it's gonna be up in March or April, I believe.
Well, my understanding too, though, didn't they lose their variance of being the police department?
Yeah, they've gotta jump through some hoops, I would imagine,
Get back?
yeah, to get back to where they're at. I
Yeah.
don't know that for sure, but that's just what,
Well, the question that I had too was if Groveton was still paying for 2 of them, so that reduced from 11 down to 9, even though they sending us.
Well,
the
y'all
check.
got me totally confused, because you're saying 9, 11, and 13.
Now they're talking about
So,
the sheriff's.
I understand, but you got me confused on this. We had 11 officers. Now Danny's saying we got 13 with the 2 from the city.
That's what we have, I have to look at the payroll and see.
Is that wrong figure, Warren?
But I had 13.
You're not talking about the jail,
No,
right?
we're
No, I'm talking about,
No, I'm asking, Commissioner Smith.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're not talking about the jail 11, right?
No, I'm talking about officers,
the
deputies.
sheriff's department side, correct?
Yes.
I'm showing 13
Yes.
of positions for deputies.
But two of those will be the Groveton.
Correct. Yeah, we're not separating them out into a different fund. They're there. The money comes into the general fund that pays from the city of.
Yes, ma'am, that's what my
Yes.
question was. Because
Yes.
And you're telling me that we've had these 13
Since you
for,
entered a contract with the city of Groveton.
we had 11, and then we added 2,
yeah, that's 13.
is the 13.
We got 2 sergeants, 1 chief
Well, I
deputy.
know how the sergeants got there, but anyway.
Okay.
But I just saw it at 11, and that's what my question was, if Groveton was paying for 2 of them. So actually, our budget is showing for 9 deputies, and then 2
We
sergeants
have to
and the
build
chief.
into the budget the entire cost of those employees. I can't separate them out.
Right, I understand.
So those 2 deputies are in this budget right here that you're looking at on the sheriff.
But with the money
But you
coming-
get the income that comes down to cover those 2.
That was a question I had. Thank you.
Yes.
ma'am.
And part-time's 18. Clerk's 19.
I got 15, 16, 17 is what I've got. I don't have an 18 for them.
Now you got 13.
That's just what I was handed, but I didn't know. That included the other two officers in
Okay, you got the sheriff and the chief deputy and the 2 sergeants, that's 4. Then you got 2 captains, it says here. Now, Mike just mentioned 1, but the other one is, is that gonna be Mark Cole? Then you got a chief deputy administrative assistant. That's secretary, right? Then you got an evidence clerk, 35,000, 31,000. Part-time we took out, right?
And that jail run over there on 5 and 1.
So on this budget, this is the numbers that there. That's leaving 3 off, having 2 correct.
We're paying 19 employees insurance, right?
That's correct.
So there's 19 full-time employees. Does that include, that's just the sheriff's department, right? I'm looking on page 19, Bonnie.
Got your sheriff, the chief deputy, the sergeants, the captain, the chief then you've got deputies, then you have the 2 administrative clerks.
But you've got on here insurance employees 19. So we're
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
19 full-time.
What,
Nearly
That's your evidence
$25,000.
clerk, your administrative assistant, your sheriff, your deputy, your sergeants, and the deputies.
captains don't get insurance, correct?
Huh?
Captains don't get insurance, correct?
Not Rick, no, he's part-time. No, he's part-time.
I'm saying, well, I mean, that's, and I don't know this, but when I was over there, the captain position was shared between, like, Mark Cole and him, or
It
whatever.
was, it's split.
And
Two
both
part-time
of
people.
them, I don't think Ricky gets insurance.
He does not.
And Mark either gets insurance through his constable side or gets through the,
Correct.
you know, his other stuff.
Yeah, so there is no, the only way we calculate insurance is for a full-time position.
Because that could change anytime. Not a part-time.
But if that department has that many full-time positions available, that's what we're gonna budget for, is that availability to make sure that that's in the budget. So,
So let's look at that real quick.
Okay.
I guess that's page 19 of
Yes.
the new budget that we're looking at, the very last one I've got. Line, 4081, that's the insurance, 19.
4081.
See that
Yes.
line item, insurance 19, shows that, proposed is 273, correct? But then it says, as of August 31st, there's only spent 53 out of that.
we get those bills quarterly, and the treasurer's office posts that into the general ledger, so not all of the insurance is posted
Gotcha.
as of August 31st. Keep in mind, there may be some employees that do not take insurance. I don't know which of those are, and it's not supposed to, they're not supposed to determine who that is. But if there is someone that's not, we budget for the full amount of positions.
Let's just use me as a guinea pig. My guys don't, and
Right, we're still budgeting.
you're still budgeted for it,
In case you replace them and the next person coming in
or in
needs
case
insurance.
they decide they want it in the future.
Right, but you
So-
won't be charged for
Yeah.
that many people, you'll only be charged for how many people are actually we're deducting for insurance. Correct.
But you still got a budget for it because.
Still need to
yeah.
budget for it.
If it changes hands for some reason.
Otherwise, you're gonna have to then pull out a reserve to cover the insurance for the remainder of that year for that new employee.
The unemployment insurance went from 15 to 45. 196.60%.
Based on what's already been entered through the treasurer's office from TAC. Those are gonna be variables as well. Workers' comp hasn't been, and nothing's been entered yet, but it will be, I'm sure, because, again, TAC sends us that information. It may not be received but once a year, then it's posted to the general ledger. Quarterly, probably on your unemployment, same thing, and that can change at the end of the fiscal year, from what I understand, depending on how many claims we've had.
Well, if you don't know, how'd you pull this out of the sky or what?
I didn't. Look at the actual already on unemployment, 4,057.81. I've
Okay.
gotta estimate something.
Yeah.
And better than zero.
Right.
You
I understand now, I see.
Okay. The other one, what did we have it budgeted last year, even though nothing's hit yet? I rounded it up from 12,756 to 13,000. I'm just giving you a rounded number. Those are variables, those will change, they may be less than what's in there. Which if so, we can't nail every budget down to the exact penny based on withholdings from an individual,
Please, chill alone.
insurance coverage. Workers' comp and unemployment is different on the departments, by the way.
Bonnie, I see here too that, I know that my constable had already made some cuts, and I see that precinct 3 has stepped up and matched the same thing that mine did. And if, I think we need to keep the constables the same. We started out keeping them the same, and we need to keep them the same. I can't speak for you.
Well, I met with both of, you're saying Mark made cuts?
Mark made the cut, and Mark made the cut.
Well, I
2 and
met
3.
with Mark and mine, and, we had talked, and they were trying to figure out where they could cut, but as of that time, they, said, they don't know where they could cut. But they did say they would have definitely some leftover that they wasn't gonna spend, that'll go back into the general fund. So that's what the last conversation we had, that's how it ended, that's how they was gonna contribute, was, with they weren't gonna spend all their budget. Basically it would go back into the general fund. It's news to me that Mark did that, which, it's great.
That came in over the weekend.
Yeah.
That he made.
Yeah, I mean, it just, we started out keeping them all the same, and I'd like to see us maintain that. Do the same with our constables. I mean,
JP's too.
so that's just a thought that I had, so I mean. And I'm surely not against any of y'all's constables. I want y'all to know that too.
So, you gotta cut somebody or there's somebody?
What you have to do is
For
you
your-
have to make a reduction.
I didn't mean to interrupt, but, Mark went down on his fuel. Is that what I saw?
Yeah, the fuel by 2,000 and their training by 1,000. That's been both of the constables so far, right, Miss Bonnie?
Yes, those are the only two. Let's see, that's the
I mean, in
One
order,
went to, they went from 2,500 on, I think, went to 1,500 on conference, 4,000 on fuel. Right, so then you need to look at precinct 1 and 4. Go, if you were to go there, you need to reduce that down to 4 and conference to 1,500.
it's up to these other commissioners
Right,
too,
it is,
that,
absolutely.
keep them equal, or we can move some numbers around, but I'd like to see them stay the same.
Man, I'm just looking at my constables on education. He's at 3,300 spent already. When I was constable, I went to different training than other constables went to, so I don't know, I don't know what they do, you know what I mean, so. But I do know that one of their conferences this year was way off in El Paso, so it
Yeah,
did cost
it's a long, yeah, it's a
it did
long
cost
journey
more.
there, for sure.
So,
I mean, if we could, maybe equal them all up with reduced fuel and maybe reduce training by 500 or something. That would make a difference in all of them, put them the same if we can. That's the way we started out, making them all the same.
Y'all make a decision on the jail over there? Y'all kind of skipped over that. What did y'all want to do there?
What's your recommendation, Judge?
I think we ought to go to 5 and 1. That's the way I looked at it. And 3 part-time.
So make this 5 and the part-time 3.
That's including their, is that enough, Tommy?
I don't know. I'm not in the loop over there, so I don't know what it takes to run it.
I'm looking at figures, you're really been there. I'll take a recommendation from you, whatever you, or what are y'all thinking? Let me just hear what y'all
I'm
thinking.
trying to find the page that it's on. I think it was 15, wasn't it?
I'm looking at a perfect world is what I was looking at.
Yeah, no,
And you need to help me there.
yeah, I really don't know how they run things, what they gotta do, you know, I don't know.
It's good for them. I said, I don't know, I mean, they're not here to.
You know, we can, if we have to, go back in and amend this, but, you know, you gotta start with something.
Understand, on October 1st, if you cut that, I mean, those employees have to be off the payroll.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, what's the rotation, 8-hour shifts,
Well,
12-hour shifts? They work. I'd see how that work.
but you got people that need off time, you got people that's sick. I mean, and they gotta be trained, so, you know, I don't know that part of it. I do know that things like that take place.
Let's take him one there and increase him there. So that's your recommendation, 1, 5, and 3.
Or if you think that's too close, we can go 6 to 3, but I'd still like to bring part-time down to 3. And if they have to have anything, we could do amendment on it and fix that. At least we know it, so. Oh, wait a minute. Or how do y'all feel about that? I don't know. Y'all?
It just started at 1, 6, and 2, didn't it? 1, 5, and 3. That's, Judge, that's your budget.
No, I'm just.
I know you're asking questions too, and I don't know about that jail.
I'm open.
Y'all are kinda asking me, but I really don't know. I mean, even when I was over there, I didn't have much to do with the jail. I mean, I knew what employees we had or whatever, but
Well, that'd be only one extra part-time person over there if you done that. But then they used to cross-train that stuff for a dispatcher and that, so.
only thing I'm looking at is, I don't wanna bring it up again, but I mean, the overtime, you know, if we, how's the overtime gonna look when we cut it down to 5 instead of 6?
How's it look now? How's it look now?
What do you think, Orrin? Miss Bonnie?
We can't control their overtime, I mean, that's,
If you had that short of people, they may need one more in there. They may need 6 and 1, but I'd still like to bring the part-time down 3.
you need to understand how many of them are dual roles. Jailers and dispatchers versus just a jailer. Are there some of them just jailers, correct? They're not filling as a dispatchers.
Is that correct?
Do we know that, or?
They're doing-
somebody-
That's correct.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate the
I mean,
training there.
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean.
the jailers that I know
More valuable
are
to you.
there
Yes, sir.
are not dispatchers as well.
right,
But the dispatchers, I think every one of the dispatchers that are.
are jailers,
are
they have to be
jailers,
both,
yeah.
right. Well, they have to be certified to be a dispatch, on dispatch and.
The one that does like the transport ones are the ones that go to court, they don't do dispatch.
Right.
I don't, with that being said, I don't know, what needs to, what it takes really,
Just guess my opinion, where this budget sits right now is where they were before the variance. I think that was the whole argument previously. So, I would, in my opinion, I would go with what we've got currently right here. But obviously it's not my budget to present. but
You what now?
I wouldn't reduce more than what we're projecting right here, in my opinion, because this basically gets them back to where they were.
So you would stay with what now?
With what Ms. Bonnie has right here.
And what is that you got on there?
1, 6, and 5, 5 part-time, 6 full-time, 1 administrator.
Judge, to kind of backdoor what he's saying, you know, with the overtime the way it is now, if we go down, how much is overtime gonna increase? Yeah, it's just a, you know, I don't know.
It's a vicious circle.
I don't manage that over there, and I don't know. I don't know.
We'll see it more this next year, I promise you. We'll find out where it's, if you know, somebody should be watching that. I mean, I know if you got a disaster, you should have extra time there. I don't have a problem with that. And, but if you got that much over, and it's like you got a budget here, but then you got unforeseen $150,000 worth of overtime. Well, it shouldn't be that way. I mean, you can see 50, but 150,000, that's a lot of money.
So, I don't know how that would turn overtime. You know what I mean? If it's
Yeah.
already getting overtime now, I don't, you know.
Yeah. So you think it ought to stay at 6 and 1 then?
That's my personal
On
opinion.
full-time.
Where we got, where Ms. Bonnie has.
Full-time, 6 and 1, be 6 full-time, 1
Administrator.
administrator, and then I'd still like to move it to 3 part-time, and if we do, we can amend that. I don't know, it's up to y'all. I mean, I'm 42,000 more than what we even budgeted for, isn't that correct?
I'm sorry, but
Isn't it $42,000 more than what we was, I mean, we're trying to take,
no,
They've still reduced their budget from last year to this year by 6.72% when we add that extra insurance into it. That gets them to pre-variance level. That's what we had budgeted. We budgeted 3 to 5 in the previous budget and 6 and 1. This gets them back to pre-variance levels. I think that makes sense. You're saying to reduce that even more. Personally, I don't agree with that, but obviously, I don't have a say in that, but,
well, I mean, if you, I mean, y'all, I'm looking at a figure on a page is what I'm looking at.
right.
And I'm trying to get to a point that everybody can live, because we don't have the extra that we had last year.
Sure, absolutely.
And everybody's got to live in that budget some way. And,
Agreed, and that's why I believe that's what we're doing here. They're cutting almost 7% of their budget. And on their larger budget, which is larger than, you know, most of our offices, that's a pretty significant, hit to their budget amount. So, yeah, we are reducing, you know, in this budget here, we're taking away those 4 additional full-time jailers and their insurance costs.
so it would help on the insurance part of that, correct?
Right, and that's what that's already taken into account.
Yeah,
here.
okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Well,
That's the input
Look
there.
at your sheet that you got over there, how many's overlapping?
well, after Tuesday, I went down to the treasurer's office to look at some, got a graph here that shows the employees that's working. We've got, on Monday through Friday, we've got 3 jailers plus the administrator. That's 4. And then we got a dog person 5 days a week. It's all about managing your people. That's why, but when I say something, I'm trying to run the department. But I have to stay within budget, and I believe that every department ought to stay within budget.
Yes, sir.
If something comes up, then they come before this court. This has come up, and we need you to amend the budget. But I'm looking at, this sheet, I'll pass it down. The green is the jailers, the blue is the dog employee, and this top one up here is the jail administrator. And that's each week.
Most everything's in that first 5 days, isn't it?
Yes, sir. So then I pulled a couple of timesheets to look to see what was being done. And without calling any names or anything, there was transport to TDCJ, picked up Parkway Chevrolet. That was on one day. And worked at the DA's office, trash, fed the kennel. We got 12 hours here for dog kennel, mowed farm, transported to Bostic County. Next week on Monday, it was dog kennel, farm, washed vehicles. On Tuesday, it was 8 hours for Commissioners Court. I guess that's when we got chewed out. They charged us for it. So it's all about managing people.
Well, we need everybody to look closer when you got somebody in there, especially our department heads. Whatever department you are, you have to look after your health, anything like that. I know if I've got a death in my office, I don't even think twice about it. But if they was gonna go on a picnic, it's a whole different thing, you know. And I'm sure they do too, you know. So y'all wanna do that then, what he's recommending then? Let's do 6 and 1.
What he's recommending or what you're
Well, I mean,
recommending?
the figures, he's saying the figures on there. Or what would y'all like to do?
He's the treasurer, you're the judge.
Yes, sir. Well, I mean, that's just where I was. I'd still like to go to 3 part-time, right? But he's saying that it's gonna cost us money in the other way. And I don't wanna be on the other side saying that about the money.
Well, you're $92,000 right here and 21 on the sheriff's department right now.
Yeah, I understand.
And you got a full crew with 4 extra jailers.
Yes, sir.
So whatever you want to do, but this is the time to do it.
You know, my point is, I don't want it to cost Trinity County taxpayers money. And if we're paying that overtime anyway, and if I take this away and it goes up, I've made a mistake. And that's what Orrin just told me. Said I would make a mistake by doing that. And I can't see it in figures because I would do things a lot tighter than what it is here if I was out in the world and running a business. But this is y'all's business that I'm trying to oversee, and it's
Yes,
and like Neil said, it's my responsibility, and I'd like to step up to the plate with it, but I don't know how much to step up to the plate too, because I've never used or worked in that department. You know, I can see it on paper.
Well, I cut my budget 25%.
You sure did, and I was proud of all of y'all. I told you when I started off.
Somebody else, I'd like to get some of it back. That's the way I feel.
Well, I understand.
Well, I'm gonna go with your recommendation. I think management is the question here. Management. Where you work your guys, stuff like this. I mean, I'm the one department that don't have to worry about it. if I work somebody extra, it'd be me. And I don't mind. I have cut trees off the road, and Neil can tell you, I've been out and cut them and shoved them with my own tractor. And everything. I don't mind doing that. But the other guys, the management of employees, that's what it's all about. Okay, if you work too much, then you need to take some time off. We got 6 full-time over here to make a rotation, I think. And then, I think all of us can be a little bit tighter than what we have been. And I'm saying all of us can be a little tighter than we all do. That's why we reached in and we took from our budgets. Hey, is it gonna be tight? I get $13,500 a year for rock. One disaster, eat that up last year. One. I've got a whole year to go without rock. But you gotta learn to put some here and put some there and do what you can. So I think, as Danny said, management is what we've really got to tighten up on. Just the bottom line. Don't care who we are, what department we are. We just gotta look closer and being a better steward of our budgets. So that's my say.
I agree.
So what do you think, Neil? Let's have your opinion.
Well, my opinion is this. We got a full crew in that department, sheriff's department, and jail administration over there. And we're over 92,000 in comp time, and we have lost our variance in February, and so we've had this full crew this whole time, and we're still $92,000 over in the jail end of it, and then on the sheriff's end of it, we're 21,000.
Hadn't you taken that out, Miss Mike? Those 4 that we had?
Yes, sir.
She's taking it out.
Yeah, it's out of your new budget, but that
I
doesn't.
understand that,
doesn't
but
mean that they're not already.
Y'all are talking about the
His point is that.
Y'all talking about the
all those
overtime
people,
and
Yeah.
speculating what's gonna happen.
Still money.
It's
This is what's happened with a full crew.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
That'd be scheduling.
it's all about managing your people and
Yes.
working together.
Yes.
And
That's why I said what I said was, this has happened with a full crew.
that's exactly
So,
right.
We're cutting 4 out, which we should. The variance is gone, we should cut them out. But if we cut more, even with the variance they haven't had in 4, 5, 6 months, however long we haven't had it, it's still going over. I don't know what the damage is gonna be moving forward, and that's why I'm hesitant to say anything on the behalf of that department, because I don't know, you know, I obviously something's going on over there, and everybody sees it, so. But I don't know, you know, the answer, and I don't, it all boils down to when my guys come in at night and have to cut a tree out, they come in late the next morning, or they go home early. That's just, I mean, there is no overtime or comp time in my department. That's my department. I'm the elected official of that department, so.
The comp time should be used up within, I would say, a month of when it's accrued. That's my opinion.
Is what now?
Comp time,
Yeah.
use it up. We're in the policy where you have to use it up within a month.
I don't think they have to, and does it? Isn't that what you told me, Orrin?
That's correct. I'm happy to pull the actual policy. There are certain rules around that we can't change with the election that we have, which is a federal election on some of those comp time rules. So we can delve into that if you want to talk more, you know, look at maybe changing a policy or something like that. That is not our current policy to do that. And we'd have to even look at the legality of changing the policy.
What is our current policy on comp time?
So, a couple different rules. One, for law enforcement and first responders, that's a different election, right? And so that's subject to some federal rules there, which we could read through all the nuance nuances of what that entails, if you're interested in that, but, basically, they accrue all this additional comp time in lieu of us paying them, right? If we start paying them, our budget has to increase. That current comp time policy saves us money every year. That's why every county almost elects to do that, which we have done. Otherwise, we pay that out more often, and then that winds up costing quite a bit more throughout a traditional year. So,
Haven't we discussed the past few meetings about moving forward? We're gonna look at it a little closer, get reports to us, and how does reports help us? We're not the elected official. If it doesn't happen in precinct 1, how does it work with comp time? How can we govern that better? I guess that's what we need to say. Or how do we?
Recommendation to take it, and there may be a way to put in a policy that the recommendation to the official is to have their employees take that time off within 60 days or 90 days without restricting, exactly when they have to take it, but when they accrue it, because they max out at a certain amount. Once they max out, then they do start getting paid in their paycheck, the overtime, at time and a half. So if they'll take their time off as they're accruing it, or as it builds up to, that they can take off for a week's vacation, and every employee it's necessary, they need to take that time off.
But realistically, we had $90-something thousand in that one place that we looked at. I mean, it's $90,000. And that's 2 employees to me. I mean, any way you look at it, it's 2 employees. If you got 90,000, I'd rather cut it back, and then we can come back and implement it if we needed to. That's the way I really feel about it. So.
Well, it's still going back to the same thing. We had a full crew. We lost a variance in February. So since February, we've had 4 extra people. Why do we owe $92,000? Because we're scheduling them to work 5 days a week on the day shift. Tuesday, when I left here, I started down the stairs and I seen a sheriff's department truck next door. So I said, well, I'm gonna go over and see how they're coming with that old library. There's 2 jailers and 1 inmate in there working on the deal. I mean, it's all about managing people. But if I say anything, they say I'm trying to run the department. No, but I'm trying to maintain this money for the people. This is the people's money we're spending. And it's just like the 6 vehicles that's going out of this county. I cannot understand that to save my soul. We're buying new vehicles and we got 6 employees that are driving out of this county, putting the miles on them. I brought it up. It's over. So I'm done. Whatever y'all want to do, we'll do it.
Well, here's going back to this deal, and not to cut you off, Mr. Smith.
No, I'm through.
But this budget here was showing 1, 6, and 2. That's what this one was showing.
No. The current one, if you'll see, it says change back to 5 part-time.
Okay, yes,
Very
ma'am.
last one.
This is September 16th, 1, 6, and 2.
No, look at
Next column.
right across
Next
from
column.
it.
At the columns, I understand, but if that,
That's current count.
yes,
It's in
ma'am,
the
change
system.
back to 5. I understand it's taking 2 more, but
And
if you say this is what we ought to go with, Judge, then we ought to try it, see if management gets better. To see if departments can manage their time better. But this is what you're asking for.
How many's on the payroll right now, right at this moment? Is,
You mean total?
no, what we're discussing,
11?
11?
Is
Well,
that
now,
correct?
there we go again. A while ago it was 13.
No, I was trying to, I'd say right now, that's in the other department. You got, you got two different departments, the jail, and then you got the deputy department. Sheriff's department, yeah.
I think what Stephen's trying-
Whatever y'all are discussing, I mean, how many is actually there?
Jailers right now.
He's trying to ask how many, do they got any opens, or is everything full over there?
That I don't, no, I think I heard someone was leaving, I don't know if they've left, as a dispatcher, but I've not seen anything.
That's the one that-
Treasurer's gonna see it before I do.
Gotta cut a check to the one that's left, or about to leave.
12,000, no. So, what would y'all like to do? We gonna go with y'all? You know where everybody feels now, so what would y'all like to do?
You say 1, 6, and 3, that's what we'll go with, Judge. As far as I'm concerned, I'm just one voice. And see if we can get better management or not, we'll have to come back in, and I understand your side as well.
How do you feel, Steve?
Same way.
1, 6, and 3?
I'm so confused, I don't know what's going on.
Well, I'm with you. I'm with you. I am too. I'm confused.
Okay, well, let's talk a little more.
Okay, let's talk, because I'm thoroughly confused.
Okay.
He's asking for one.
Y'all throw so many numbers at me, and I'm
Okay, we're just talking about the jail now, we're not talking about anything else.
Okay,
And, we're doing, he said, and you talking about 6?
You talking about an administrator, 6 full-time, and 3 is what you're
Yeah.
asking for.
3.
Part-time.
Well, this has got 2.
No, it has 5.
Projecting, that they want to put it back to 5 to where it was pre-variance.
Yes.
And you're saying,
This, if you look down further on the part-time money, that's already got the 5. She added the 5 in there. This is just telling how many employees are current, and this is the one that added. So here's the part-time line item that it was 49.
well,
Before,
if the part-time money's there, if the money's in the budget, once we approve it next week, the department head can do what they want to. It's theirs
Yeah. I know.
for a year. So,
That, is that, so what do you, what is your opinion on that? That's what I'm saying.
I asked you a while ago what you wanted to do, and you said 1, cut 3, or cut 2, or something. I don't know, I've heard so many figures. I don't know what we're
Well, that's
gonna
what
do.
this is a discussion, so I
Okay.
think that's what we're doing.
So what he said-
We hadn't done anything yet.
what he said was at first, he wanted to have one jail administrator, cut it down to 5 instead of 6 full-time, and then cut it to 3 instead of 5 part-time. But then with more thought, he said, let's keep it at 1 jail administrator, 6, keep it at 6 full-time, and then cut the 5 down to 3. Now Bonnie has to, I don't know what that does with the money, or on the part-time, how much that cuts down. I don't know how y'all
No, that's a
calculate it.
full-time employee that you, if you do 1, 5, and 3, so.
No, we're doing
No.
1, he
1,
wants
6,
to-
and 3?
He's saying 1, 6, and 3.
Okay, well then you take, 2 part-time people out of that 86,000. That's the line item that will adjust.
Yeah, but what is that? Yeah, what is that?
Danny,
You gotta figure out their hourly.
I got a big project going right now, I really need to get back to it, so, whatever y'all decide is fine with me.
Okay.
So 40,000. So that would get your part-time down to 46,000. We were estimating here.
4 to 6,000
Instead of 86,000.
for,
Part-time, that's all we're talking about. Does not change your full-time budget that's in there. You still got 6 and 7. It's 6
and where'd the 86 come from? It was at 40-something thousand. wasn't it?
40-something thousand by reducing it down to 3.
Judge, the 86 come from
Yeah.
what it was earlier. It was at 2, and that was at 40-something. And then they asked to go back pre-variance, and so that's what the money was prior for 5 people.
But by reducing that, it brought it back down into the 40s, she just said.
Well, I agree with that, and
Instead of the 86, it brought it down into the 40s.
I'm not saying I disagree with it, I'm just worried about paying time and a half for comp time. That's what we need to.
You paying it anyway.
I get it, but I just don't,
I don't know how you fix that.
I don't either, and that's the question.
If it was a perfect world, we know what to do. I'd start cutting and fixing until we got it down to where it didn't have any, like you're doing in your office. But I don't know about that. Now what do you think?
think about getting out of here.
Oh, you can't leave yet.
You guys are running out of time.
Oh, yeah, you're running out of
You are.
time. You can't leave.
We have to come up with something so you can enter it in, and we can approve or disapprove it Tuesday.
I'm not saying one way or the other, but maybe to add a little bit of, make it a little easier to understand. It's pretty much keep it the way it is right now, which was prior to the variance, or go with what the judge was saying was to shave off a part-time or two. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So that's pretty much the only decision. And Mike and Stephen already said they liked the judge's idea. Tommy's on the other side, so it kind of goes to Neil.
I didn't say I disagreed, I'm just worried about the
We all.
Well, we having to pay it anyway,
I
with
get-
everything.
I get that, but we're gonna have to pay time and a half versus time.
What about the constables too? Don't
You
forget.
need to figure out what you wanna do on the constables,
On your
because that
constables,
way it's
so-
all ready to go. So I have to put it into the main system so that come October, the first payroll that hits, everything is up and running. So that's why you got a deadline, why to pass the budget.
If the other two constables match our constables, then that's another $6,000 savings.
That's correct. You can put another 6,000 back.
I mean, I looked at their fuel, and they haven't come nowhere close to that 6,000, so I mean, I don't think it'd be an issue cutting the 6,000.
That'll help us right
Cut
there.
this down
So-
to the other ones.
Yeah.
And on the training, do you want to leave those at
That's
1,500 or?
the hard part that I really don't disagree with, because
2,000, cut 500 off of
Yes,
each?
ma'am, I think that'd be fair.
I just know different cops do different training, and
Right.
in my precinct, I had all the POAs, and I had to go to training for that, and do, how many POAs we had.
We
It's
got
just
all of
different, in Neil's precinct, he might not have no POA, see what I'm saying? So it's just a different, that's why I don't know, and I don't really disagree with, all constables don't have to go to the same, or don't need the same training.
Not all of them go the same, that's true.
Yeah.
I know mine does, 'cause we got a POA.
What
There's
is,
several POA.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
me and you are different, than over here.
So I-
And Mark had no problem, he said he could do that. with
They
the
can
POA.
supplement with their Leo's funds for education on the constables. But we still have to provide a budget for them to attend, their mandatory training. But should they need to attend a class that's not, it's kind of outside their area or something that they're needing to do, they can use their Leo's.
Mark did say that.
Special funds,
I did
yes.
have Leos when I was constable,
Yes.
and there was some money in there. They get so much each year or whatever.
Yes.
But Mark did tell me that when we was talking that he may be able to cut his education down because he's got the Leo. So I mean,
So 2,000 in their education. At least that's 500 each, and if something comes up that it changes in the mid-year, then it can be readdressed.
Well, that's an addition to our general
Sure.
fund, so yes, ma'am.
how about the actual department? Y'all hadn't addressed that at all on the sheriff's department. you told me what you think you'd like to do with the jail, but on the other side, would you like to do anything?
Well, my question that I had earlier, that they had 11, come to find out, Groveton is supplemented for 2 of them.
I think, that in whatever it is, April, March, whatever, when they decide if they wanna keep going or not, or what have you, then we gotta do a budget amendment then, correct? Because if they
Yes.
cut the money off the Groveton, cuts the
Yes,
money off.
then they gotta decide what to do with 2 officers.
Yeah, that we don't need. It'd be kinda like the same scenario as the variance, but,
As the jail,
Yeah.
yes.
so,
So, but of course, the city has to do what they need to do. They need to send a 30-day notice to, out of the contract to end it, so that we have some warning as to when those
yeah.
go away.
So this will be just like the jailers. It'll be in the budget. If the city of Groveton cuts the contract,
Same.
we're gonna pay them from April till next October.
No,
No.
we just said we.
I thought
We
the
can make an
contract
amendment.
agreed that it was over right there.
Well, they can dissolve the contract with a 30-day notice.
But we're not budgeting.
But we're not
The difference, the
budgeting from,
difference.
they're asking,
She don't
are
have
you
it broke
budgeting
down.
from April?
Yes, we budgeted the revenue and we budgeted the expense.
She just told us earlier that they're all figured
I
in.
can't leave them out here and not with unknown.
No.
They did budget.
Correct me if I'm wrong, the difference in the variance and that, and
It's just a
is the
contract.
variance we were budgeted for the rest of the year with it, correct? And when we cut off money here, we won't have that money is that what I'm understanding?
Yes, the city of Groveton is paying for those, the value that the court said, like I think 50,000 per person plus mileage, plus
Tommy wants-
insurance and so forth.
Tommy wants to know, are we gonna be liable from April to October again?
Sure you are, cause it's in the budget. Once we finalize this
If
budget,
they quit paying, we're gonna have to pay it. That's what he's asking.
Why is it any
Wasn't the
difference?
contract that it dissolved immediately and then they were terminated?
Yes, and it should have a different start and end date, right? Is that what we're getting at?
I don't know, but if
It's on a
normally-
yearly basis
yearly
for 2
basis.
years, cancel it within 30 days, and the end date is April, is that right?
That's what.
That's the
what-
one that expires, you gotta start a new one is April 1st.
I don't know how that's budgeted in this budget, but I know how the contract reads, and I would think that it would be its own separate entity, kind of like a grant that you would get that doesn't abide by our budget.
If there's no longer any money available, you can't spend the money.
Mhm. And if she's budgeting for that 2-year deal with the money we got, then it would end at the end of the year, and you wouldn't have the money to replenish the accounts unless it was renewed.
I put it in there for a full 26 payroll periods for all of their deputies.
But starting,
October 1st.
okay,
Our new budget starts October 1st. I put in their full salary because I don't know that contract's gonna end.
That's
in April.
exactly right.
I do not know if it's gonna end. We don't know if it's gonna
Yeah, you don't-
end at the end of September.
Yeah, we
it's built in.
that should,
We have to put in their full salary for a full year.
well, their year is different.
No, they're not.
No,
Yes, it
October.
The
is.
city?
The city cops should be a different year. It should be whenever we started the contract.
Oh, the contract
Oh.
was effective April the 1st. But it's not been, it's still in existence until,
Well, the money we get for the contract with the city, that's not money from taxes, right? That should be
that's
based on
coming
some.
coming straight from the city of Groveton.
So it should be budgeted like a pretrial diversion fund or like a seizure fund or something like that, right? Like it shouldn't come out of the general fund. It should be like,
That's where the money is going, to pay for more than just their salaries. It's paying for insurance,
mm-hmm.
it's paying for fuel, it's paying for,
It's 75,000 per employee.
Right,
So it's
basically.
$150,000 is what they pay.
Per year.
per,
Yeah.
yes.
In my opinion, we don't know if they're gonna, we're kind of talking ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, we're talking ahead. We don't know what they're gonna do.
Well,
We don't
they got two new people on the city.
But
and
the,
Yeah, but they gotta have.
Oh,
some-
But you certainly don't want to be tied up.
So, we don't know what they're gonna do. That's, if they're gonna continue it, okay. If not, we don't know. On the other hand is, those two officers were hired knowing that this contract was in
Could
place. So,
end, yes.
could end. So, if the money's not there, it don't come, like Colton said, it don't come out of the taxpayers' money, then if that money's cut off, the officers know that they don't have a job.
That's right. That's right.
That's the way the contract was explained when the contract came
Same
in.
thing as the jail.
That if it
Right.
ends,
You're right.
then their job was terminated,
Yes,
right there.
And I
yes.
think they talked about they were going to train them, and eventually they were going to choose local people
But
to
their
take
2
over
years
the deal.
was already up. The 2 years have been up.
No, it's 2 years up in
I
April.
thought it's 2 years in April is what, something they were saying.
But it also continues if no one cancels.
Yeah, but that would be a new starting point. You know, that would be a renewal.
It had been.
Okay, but I can't budget in here for an April to September. I have
Do you
to
have
budget.
any insight on whether they're gonna renew it or not?
No, because there's too many unknowns, and I can't tell you how the city's gonna vote on whether, the amount of time to take them to put together a police department, that's unknown.
It's,
I don't know.
you can't say, you can't guess. You know, they have the option and y'all have the option, but it
Once it
just,
happens,
just
it'll-
logistically, they're not the same as the other deputies. They're funded by a completely different source of revenue on a contract on a 2-year and renewal by a yearly basis. It should be different.
Well, they
Just
pay monthly.
if you do it or you don't.
They pay it monthly, but it all rolls through the general fund, okay? So they stop paying, we need to stop paying out,
Yeah,
right?
yes.
Because the position's
That's-
no
that's what
longer
it's-
exists.
That's what the contract
In-
read.
You're right.
What their concern is though is that if it
If it's in the
would,
budget,
if it would potentially end in April,
Uh-huh.
then you got May, June, July, August, and then we're kind of stuck in the variance deal that we were in. You
But if
understand?
our
Where we
contract-
have to
no,
fund
we
it
do
to
a
the next
budget
budget.
amendment, and the officers are
That-
gone,
that-
and
that's-
the unused
yeah.
funds go back up to, come back up to the general fund for other purposes.
You do a budget amendment where you take away their
Do
budget.
that. Another,
You can,
On
yes,
Monday,
because
another
now that
workshop,
those
maybe.
positions are no longer there, and the
Yes,
funding
sir.
should
Or
be
would you
down.
still-
So we talked to Zach recently, and they were pretty much saying
Did you
that
hear
once it's
this?
budgeted, it's very difficult.
What?
So now,
You
so
mentioned
all right,
and
so
take
here's
it out
the
of his
question, then,
budget
do
and
I
pay
need to only
For the rest of
budget
that doesn't come out of general
between
fund.
October and April?
when,
If
For
you
those
have to
two
keep them on
officers?
May, June, July, it has to reach and come out of that budget, what she said.
oh, out of here,
Do I,
I didn't even think about that.
see?
What's
So
a different deal?
Say that again.
Do I need to adjust the budget and only take those two officers from October the 1st through the end of April?
that'd come out of the sheriff's budget.
It's all coming out of the sheriff's
Yeah.
office, yes.
Didn't even do a budget amendment.
If,
April.
so if the contract doesn't end in April,
Do a budget amendment to
you
put it
bet
back.
budget
And they
amendment
replenish
back
the
in.
funds.
Put it right back
They
in.
replenish the funds, and it doesn't miss a beat.
Okay,
But if they don't do it,
There
then
you
we
go.
don't want to be left holding the sack.
I understand.
Can I just ask a question, and I'm not trying to stir the pot, but what is the difference in this deal and the 4 jailers that was hired for a variance, and we lost the variance in February, but we paying them to the October 1st?
That's
What is the
different.
difference?
The difference is that the county was paying those extra jailers, and the reason we decided to pay those extra jailers is because the state jail commission gave us a benefit of housing extra inmates.
But we
the
lost
money still, yes, the money still came from the same place, and we chose to hire people because we had this opportunity. This is funded by something, a different entity.
Another entity.
Like I say, I don't,
Well, I love the way these lawyers
I-
put it out there.
we don't know what they're gonna do. They may not even be thinking about what we're talking about doing, what we're
No,
talking
they-
about.
they-
So I think the best scenario is do it the way you just said it. Budget until the contract ends, and then if they continue with it, which they may or they may not, who knows? Then we'll amend it and go.
Salary back
Yep,
in.
and add salary back.
Another workshop.
That's the best way.
It's up to you.
On that thing.
Okay,
I don't,
well, that way it's not in there.
what do you think? I mean, what do y'all think? I think that's the best case.
Smartest way to do it.
Just to budget it till the
Don't you
contract
agree, Tom?
ends.
Well, that's the right way to do it.
That's the right way to do it. That's right. Let's go true. Sorry, Kurt. What a waste. That's a good thought process, you two.
That wasn't even what we were, one of the
That's
things we
okay,
worried
John.
about
That's
today.
right on what we needed.
So y'all not entertaining on the jail, and I'm talking about the jail now, y'all wanna go 5 or 6 and 1? On the-
Split the middle, make it 4.
Yeah,
No, we're talking, he's talking about,
I'm
You're
talking
talking
about on
Full
the jail,
time.
full-time.
Full-time still 7.
I thought you said 6 and 1.
That's what we said. Are you agreeing to that?
On what now?
6 and 1. 6 full-time, 1
One jail administrator.
jail administrator,
How many part-time?
and then 3 part-time.
That's what you suggested. You go with it.
How about you, Mr. Neil Smith?
Whatever you want to do, Judge.
I said,
You just let me get out on that limb by myself.
I say you,
1, 6, 3. Okay,
I say you punch it in like that and then,
okay, yeah.
and
You
we'll.
got another meeting
Let's see
next
where we go
Tuesday.
from there.
Yeah.
All right.
Did y'all figure out the constable's deal, how to
Yes.
sort it
Yeah,
out?
we
Yeah.
got that figured out. Yeah. Not anti-law. For goodness sake.
Can we have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.